noise, like, kicking in all that big flame like fire down, right? Do some really noise in a minute. Well, they didn't. They said it's all flying back.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, before we actually run this engine, I like to do a bit of explanation what you're looking at. There's nothing worse than just looking at the engine and not know anything about it. This is officially called a Meteor engine. Now, it is actually a tank engine, it's not a thoroughbred. But what happened, Rolls-Royce did all the aircraft engines. That's anything that flew. Spitfire, Hurricane, Lancaster, anything that flew was a Merlin, which was from Rolls-Royce. But around about 1944, they took an aircraft engine and Rolls-Royce see if they thought they could fit it in a tank. And they were successful, because obviously these engines were getting damaged, they were getting shot at. So, that's what they did, and then they put it out to tender. Rover got the contract. So any ground running engines, that's in mostly tanks, tank transporters, anything that went in a ground running was a Rover engine. Now Rover, with Rolls-Royce, was also allowed to rename it. So you got two companies, Rover, Rolls-Royce, two names, Merlin, Meteor, one engine. It's the same engine, but as I say, this is not a flyer or a thoroughbred. So basically, Rolls-Royce put them in these things, the Spitfire, the Hurricane. Rover put them in these. Now the engine weighs about a ton, 750 kilos to 1,000 kilos. That's what flew. This is 750. Right, a Spitfire, that's a Mark 9 by the way, would weigh about 6 or 7 ton. So you got one engine in a plane. The tank weighed 52 ton. The same engines powering both vehicles. This is the sports car, this is the tank. So this engine, a B4, went in this particular tank. It's the last model we made. Rolls-Royce stopped making Merlins that flew, so anything you see flying now, in 1951. Rover did not stop making the B4, which is the last model, till 1962. It's a 10-year-on engine. So technically, it's a Rover engine. Anyway, that's the gist of this engine. Now I've dressed it back to a plane engine, a fighter. It's a Spitfire. That's got fishtail exhaust. This has got just normal tube exhaust. They're only flame deflectors. They're not silencers, they are flame deflectors. I'll tell you about the exhaust because it's very important, especially in the plane. Each plane that you see has different ones. The Halifax has a different exhaust system. The Lancaster has a different exhaust system. They're all the same engines. Now, you only get these on bombers. This is the Lancaster one. You only get it on the Lancaster, nothing else. You don't get them on Spitfires or Hurricanes because it's this shape for a reason. It's a bomber. A Spitfire is a day fighter. It goes up and down all day. See, this thing's cooking. This thing's chucking flames out. As I say, it's only a flame deflector. So it has to be this shape, one. So the heat, because I say this is red hot, these are bright orange, and to deflame the flames. So that's why they're that shape. see what's on the Spitfire, straight or fishtail. Now the most important one of any plane was the Mosquito. Again, this is a Mosquito one. It was done for a reason. Because the Mosquito is called the Wooden Wonder. It's made out of wood, all of it.
Remember them, Will?
All the rest made out of metal apart from Mosquito. So the exhaust,
Twin engines.
where those exhausts are high up above the wing, if you ever look at a Mosquito, the engine's in line with the wing. So they have to be swept down under the wing so it deflected from the wing itself. So a Mosquito is very important. Right, I'm going to put these on the floor. So you understand what exhaust we look at. Now, these engines are all water cooled. The difference between this one and a Merlin is 10, 12, 13, 14,000 feet up. This is on the ground. What I'm going to do is you're not supposed to do. You're not supposed to do what Michael Caine Spence is supposed to do. Sit there and run it. It'll blow up or take off. Well, it won't take off. It doesn't do what Guy Martin does. We don't have a propeller on it because that's dangerous. It's the propeller is only as good as the metal. And we're being so hold with metal fatigue. The insurance won't cover it as well. So we don't have a propeller on it. It's classed as an internal engine. Right, now, what I also want to talk about, safety. I think you'd be more interested in the safety element of this. Merlins, this is a magneto to this engine. The Rover put a safety device in the magnetos, so it doesn't do what Guy Martin does. A Merlin doesn't have them. It's classed as a rev and go. So the more you rev it, the more it goes. This will run up to 3,500 revs, what they all do. But Rover put this in. This is called a governor or a restrictor or anything like that, but it has two of these in it. I'm hoping so I don't blow it up. So when it gets to certain revs, this magneto, this governor will kick in and cut it down. That's the safety element. Don't to just let you on that one. So you don't be concerned. Now, it also boils water in 5 minutes. That's 100 degrees, boiling point. Now, it doesn't like this E10. The government says I've got to use it, but it doesn't like it. And it boils water quicker than that now, because the E10's a bit thin. What I'm trying to worry about is that this will release water. The water bit I'm not worried about. It's an ongoing thing. I've got to resolve it. So when it lifts that cap up, it'll be at 115 degrees. That's 15 degrees over boiling point. This what this can do. We have about 30 gallons of water in it. We still can't keep it cool. It's also using a litre a minute petrol. The same petrol you put in your cars. This is a petrol engine, not an aviation engine, a petrol engine. So it's using a litre a minute. So I can only run it, personally, without breaking it, for about 7-10 minutes at maximum. Because I'm not going to run it on tick over, I'm going to get some hammer. I can run it on tick over, but that's a bit boring. So it's really a litre a minute. And we're going to run about 10 litres out of this, so you know what it's costing. The only thing I ask, and I'm going to explain about this particular engine, this wasn't running till yesterday. This is my hobby. I buy these engines as non-runners, and I get them to run. I get them to run, I don't pay somebody else to do it, I do it, to show you what these engines can be done. So, I like to explain that this wasn't run. This is, what I'm saying, this is a test running. What I'm doing this weekend is test running this, so you listen to it what I listen to it. The other one broke last week, so I had to swap this one over and run this one. So this hasn't run for 4 years. I managed to get it going yesterday. Now it's not running perfect, because this is the only second time I've run it. Now I'm going to run it later on, so you have to bear with it. Right, like I say, this is what I do. I'm not sponsored. I don't get other people to do it. What you see is what I've done. The only thing I do ask, but it's up to you, I've got a donation box. I've got articles for sale. Anything that you put in the donation, anything you buy, helps me buy these engines, get them running, and bring them at shows so you can see them. Because I believe within reasonable time the government's going to kill it. The fuel, you see, tends too good for it now. So as the petrol gets better, not that it's going electric, but the petrol gets better, this won't run. You get aviation fuel for planes from airfield. I get this from that petrol station over there. That's what's in this, same as what's in your cars. So anyway, we're going to have a go. I'm going to run it as long as I can. It did start yesterday. You are looking at test runnings now. Only worry if I run. But it should be okay. Hey, Ray, here. I've got a helper. Right. Right. Don't you worry. All you've got to do. Wind it. Just wind it. Put them on. It's loud. Oh, by the way, it's loud. Very loud. Be warned. Okay.
Oh yeah. try it. Oh my God.
Come on, Gal. Come on.
What is that boy?
Ready? One. Ready? Ready? Keep going, you gotta go in. Go through here.
You got flames on this side.
Got flames.
Yeah, under here.
And they have flooded it. They have flooded it. Don't now. I may have flooded it. That's that sorted. Like I say, look, it's a test run. We flooded it. We flooded it. Richard, me and Richard are going to get this thing going. You just got to bear with me. I think I've flooded it, that's what I think I've done.
Almost going. Starting this bike up, but that was kicking it back. They got it put as far advanced as the leader. He came back and he smashed his knee.
It's a test, it's a test.
You have to take your back tomorrow.
More petrol put down it, more petrol fine. Talk amongst yourselves. Down there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Everything's on. That's it. Done. Right. Right yesterday. Right. 6 foils on. Ready?
Filming with the red small red dog and the big one.
We have loads of videos.
I know. Is it filming when I do it?
Warmed up now.
Could you not hear it?
Come on. We're not getting up yet.
Is it filming now?
We're not getting up yet. You ready? We're not getting up.
Simple enough.
It did, wait a minute, it did do this yesterday. Ready? There we go. Right, that's it.
I don't know. He just had to say he was a barn.
Cheers, Bill, wouldn't it? Just give you an idea. Right, just test it. Right. Right, just explain what you're doing. Right, I'm going to explain what this chap's doing. His name's Richard. He's come to help me, he's got a good chap. Like I say, I'm doing the test runs now. It's got called a booster coil on it. There's one that's fitted to it, it's called a spark, it sparks. This chap here is going to do a bit of winding, and there's another booster coil on the other side, it's called a scatterer. That's what he's doing, he's helping me trying to get it started. If it's any good. His name's Richard, by the way. I've got a clue who he is. Shouldn't do that. That's way more dangerous. Ready? I do this at home, by the way, but I don't do it have a right up there. Come on, Mel. You can do it. Fire extinguisher. Fire extinguisher, very well. Ready?
That's a gun on your fuel gun.
You've hit the floor with that now.
Hey?
You've hit the floor.
You know, no. Come on, now. Come on. Come on. That's how we go. Come on. Still think it's flooded. Still think it's... Come on. Right. Ready? Come on then. Ready? Has anybody got any good ideas?
Have you got any petrol in it?
Yeah.
I think it's got too much petrol in it myself.
Trouble is you use it up.
I think it's much better for you.
You got your hand manual.
Oh yeah. I just don't want it to catch fire. That's what I don't want it to do, catch fire. I'm not geared up, you know. No, I don't know. It's definitely already. It's definitely laughing. That's what I personally think. I'm getting running commentary. I think I've got too much fuel in it. God. This is better than it running into really because you're seeing how it goes. See, I don't want to keep putting petrol down it. It sort of seems to want to go when I do it. Ready? goes. Makes you deaf though, doesn't it? Right, it bloody runs. I shall get it running again in a bit. Now I know the show's showing us about 4 o'clock, but if you want to come back at 4, I'll have another go. We'll go see her do it all over again. Thank you very much, appreciate it.